Hey everybody, it's been a while since we talked. I'm on my way home and I figured I would fill you in on what's been going on since the last we spoke. So, in the process of getting my office rebuilt to be able to support the Production Dojo channel and all the work that's been going into that rebranding and moving over to video production from more code oriented, and I'll be revealing that website towards the end of this week for those of you who are interested. But today was Cleanout day. So what I have to do is I had to clean out my garage so that I can move stuff from my office to the garage so that I could then rebuild the office, and then we'll see what of what's in the garage comes back and what if it gets thrown away. But I want to tie that sort of fairly pedestrian chore in with the conversation we've been having around virtual assistants and making maximum use of your time, because this is a perfect example of that. Now, a garage clean out is the kind of project that could take you days and days and days, or you can do what I wound up doing and just hiring a company to come in and take care of it. Now, the company I wound up going with is a company called Junkluggers, Junkluggers. Yeah, Junkluggers, New Jersey. And if you've never used one of these services, the way they work is they bring over a truck, they fill the truck, they measure how much space in the truck they used, you pay them for the space that you took up in their truck. I had planned on and did in fact take the entire truck that they brought. So they bring one of those landscaper trucks. You might think of it as a small dump truck. It does do the pitch out in the back. When they get to the dump, they just tip it up and dump it out. It has the netting over the top. Again, you've seen these trucks. I would say it's probably 10 feet wide, maybe 15 feet deep and about 8 feet high. And I wound up filling the entire vehicle. And it was right around, I don't know, the truck cost whatever, $700 or something. It was. Now that includes all the labor. So this is a pretty good deal when you look at it. They pulled up, they took everything that I wanted to go out. They gathered up all the little stuff. They pulled some stuff off the walls when it was necessary, whether it was, carpet that had gotten wet 5 years ago, or whether it was pieces of metal, old broken shovels, just basically all that stuff that accumulates in your garage that you don't want to be bothered to get rid of. These guys just put on a pair of gloves and got rid of it. Now, I was really impressed. I was impressed with the company. I was impressed with the service, and I will be doing an online review for them, which I will probably link to somewhere along the line from my Facebook. But because you pay for the space you use in the truck, it would be very easy for them to essentially overcharge you. All they would have to do is not pack the truck particularly well, and thus, you would get less of your stuff into the truck, and then you might be likely to engage them another time or get another truck, or if you'd paid for half a truck, they might talk you into getting 3/4. And I have to say, there was none of that. These guys did a great job of packing that truck. Did they, spend our whole lives cramming stuff into every little nook and cranny? No, that would be insane. Nobody's going to do that. But at every opportunity, if they put a cabinet in there, when they put new stuff in, they put it in the shelves of the cabinet. If there was a half-filled box when they got there, they filled it with other stuff. They changed the orientation of things when necessary. They stacked flat stuff on the sides instead of sticking across. I mean, they just did a really good job of making an efficient use of the space I was paying for to maximize the value I was getting out of the service. And take this lesson if you're in a service industry like I am. Is it possible that they have lost some money because they've been efficient enough that somebody doesn't need to hire them again? Sure, it's possible, but it's also possible that it's definitely guaranteed, in fact, that they're making money on that, because I am going to use them again. I'm absolutely going to use them again because the experience was good and I know I get my money's worth. They were nice guys. They didn't try and upsell me. They were pleasant. They did the work. They helped me figure out how to best use their time, and they made maximum use of this resource that I was paying for. And I am going to engage them again. Whereas if they had beaten me out of, 10 square feet of space, would I have used them again? No, I really wouldn't. And I would have gone online and said as much. As it is, I'm going to go out of my way to go online to their Facebook page and talk about the great experience I had. I'm going to go out of my way to go to their Yelp page and make sure I leave them a good review. I'm going to go out of my way to talk about them on the New Jersey mailing list I'm on, where people talk about services. I'm going to go out of my way to make sure that people know that these guys did exactly what they were supposed to do. They did it efficiently. They did it with respect for my time and for my money. And that's the sort of service that gets you loyal customers. That's the sort of service I strive to provide. When I'm dealing with my clients, I don't nickel and dime people. I'd rather give them an hour of my time extra if I'm not sure how much time I spent than charge them for that hour. I want people to be happy with my service, recommend my service, come back and use me again. And it's worked. I have clients that I've been with for 15 years. I have clients that I've become friends with. I have clients who recommend me to other clients. I've gotten more work on the strength of that good reputation than I ever would have made money by hassling it. And these guys understand that same thing, and that's worth everything to me. It's why I'm mentioning it to you guys. Junk luggers, JUNKLUGGERS in New Jersey, definitely the right guys to go with if you need that service. And that, you wouldn't think that relates to the VA, but it does. First off, because it was my VA that found these people for me. My time, etc. virtual assistant, I put her on the task of researching, because if it were up to me, I would have just called 1-800-GOT-JUNK because I've seen the national ads and I would have used them. But she did the research, and it turns out that, the local company was a better deal for me, and they have great reviews. So my VA found this vendor. This vendor did in 3 hours worth of work what would have taken me weeks of trying to fit it in at times. And as a result, I've been able to be productive today for other clients and bill people, do billable work. I've made back, essentially, I will have made back far more than I spent on them, because I can use the time I would have spent doing this job and packing this car with stuff and hauling it down to the thing one carload at a time. I would have taken me 10 carloads to do what they did in one truck. It's insane. Anyway, there's going to be a time lapse in here, and you'll see how crazy that garage was. Though you will see what's left in there includes the majesty of my late 80s Pontiac Fiero GT, black, silver stripe. It's got the fastback going on, 6-cylinder engine, an incredibly cool car. I just can't bring myself to part with it. It obviously doesn't run. It's been sitting in the same spot in my garage for 15 years. And I parked it with no prep. So, that engine's going to need to be replaced. But someday that'll be a great project car. We'll replace it. We'll update it. I don't feel any compulsion to keep it stock. So we'll redo the dashboard with an LED setup, LCD panel, and so on. It ought to be cool, but we'll get there eventually. But this is what I want to relate this, right? So we always talk about two things here on this channel that are business related. One, providing good service for your clients, and we've talked about that. And two, making the best use you can of your time. Would it have been the best use of my time to be out there hacking up along at my garage, sticking myself on nails and trying as one guy to weasel this stuff back and forth in my car? No. Could I have on paper have saved some money? Of course I could have saved some money. But when you really look at it, I will make back much more than I spent, simply because I'm able to be productive today, tomorrow, this weekend, next weekend. The 4 or 5 days it would have taken me of busting my ass out there, or 3 long days or 2 really long days, I'll make that money back. I'll make that money back easily. Now, And that's all part of the thing. Now, obviously, not everything that was in that garage could go with these guys. I wound up with 2 big boxes. Like, we're talking 85 pounds in the end of paper. Old corporate paperwork, old receipts and stuff from the 1980s that I as I move from place to place, you just kind of put it away because it's personal and it's sensitive information and you can't just throw it away. So you keep it and then you never get around to it. Now that it had been uncovered, I had 2 options. 1, go buy a shredder. I'd go buy a shredder for $30 that would probably burn out, go down to Staples, buy a shredder, come home, spend all my time taking the staples out of that thing, shredding the paperwork, and then getting rid of the shredded paper. And I could have done that. That would be $30. Or pack it up in the car, take it to the UPS store, hand it to them because they have an Iron Mountain, which is a company that does secure paper shredding. They have an Iron Mountain thing. They charge me by the pound, and I guess I didn't have 85 pounds, but whatever it was, $60, and I put it in the secure bin, and it's out of my life, and it's done. That took 10 minutes, including the drive, as opposed to hours. And once again, I can be making money in those hours. I don't have to be sitting on my porch feeding paper into a shredder. There's value in this. Now, some things it makes sense to do on your own. For instance, as a result of all this clean out, I now have as well boxes of, I probably have 45 photography envelopes from way back, the first time that photography was something I did for a living. And all the negatives are there, and all the prints are there, and obviously this stuff needs to get scanned, it needs to get archived, it needs to get done well. And I took a quick look online, and the best service I can find that I would trust that will do my photo scanning is 74 cents a slide. So we're looking at $20 a roll of film. I have 45 or 50 rolls of film at least, which means we're looking at thousands and thousands of dollars, really, when you add up all my film to get that done. And then you add all the photos I've got in photography books, and you've got family photos and whatever. That doesn't make any sense when a decent photo scanner is, under $200. And then that's a tool that you'll have, and I'm under no time pressure. I can just throw some negatives in, scan them as I go. I'm going to want to tweak them anyway. So that isn't the sort of thing that right now makes financial sense for me to delegate. So it's just a matter of picking and choosing the things that you're going to do. Anyway, enjoy watching the time lapse of my garage being redone. Enjoy. If you're on my Facebook, you'll probably see some old photos go up over the next couple of days. And I have a lot of scanning to do as well for some other people around me. So that'll be my hobby for a little while, though not like I have hobbies. And yeah, tomorrow or later on tonight, we have a herd watching to do. So if you're interested in what's been going on with the presidency and politics and want to know my take on that, you can come and keep an eye on the herd watching page, HERDWATC HING, herdwatching.com. Go over there, check out my political vlog. Thanks for your time. I appreciate you spending the afternoon with me a little bit today, and I will see you later on.